The way you make a name for yourself is to separate yourself. There are plenty of people that just fight, you know, but there is an art to the sport, there is a science to the sport, and you have to master it to master this game.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Charles Nzali. Welcome to another episode of 8 plus 1, the classroom. When I started 8 plus 1, my intention was to give people the opportunity to teach things that are not taught in the classroom. Today I have a national champion, boxer, and her amazing father. I don't know if we who never boxed will understand it. We're here to try to learn from them, to try to understand the sweet science of boxing, what gets into it. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the national champion, right?
Six times.
Six times national champion, Brijhana Epperson, known as the boxing ballerina, and her amazing father, Courtney Atg here with me. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get into this, man. I'm gonna start with you, Dad.
All right.
So, have you boxed before?
Yeah, as a youth, I got started just like her. I got started with my dad before decided to leave our lives early, and picked it back up as an adult when I graduated high school. Without his influence, there was really nobody else to keep pushing me as a youth, to stay into boxing. So I had to gravitate to sports that I can get to, like football, scholastically, where they pick you up on a bus. There was no gyms around where I lived. So that's the beginning of that. And again, got right back. When I got out of high school, got back into it, even got into some Okinawan Shorin-ryu karate. But stayed a student of the game. Love boxing. I do. So even more so than the karate, boxing to me that's my favorite sport. And as I started teaching Brijhana, I started teaching her self-defense first, as a means of self-defense.
Yes.
Something, she ended up in a situation, she could at least get back home.
Yeah.
So that's the other part.
So I'm still stick with you here in a little bit. We'll still come to the champ here.
Okay.
As a father, right? How do you go? Okay, I'm dealing with the boxing ballerina here as coach, and then here I'm dealing with Brijhana, my daughter. There's a fine line. How do you go through that fine line? How do you balance that?
It took me a minute. Like, she'll tell you when we first started, like, not at home when we were training, but when we would go to gyms to spar.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard for me to separate the two. Like, if it looked like the situation would get out of hand and she wasn't, exacting what we taught at home or whatever, it was like Dad would kind of take over, like, hey,
Yeah.
And frustration would set in. I think it was more fear. Because this is my baby girl. This is my girl right here.
Yeah.
And what adds to that is 98% of the time she's sparring boys. She has to spar boys. There's no girls around here.
None.
There's a few.
But usually they're older.
They're either older or they're not skilled enough. So 90% of the time she's in there with boys. And I learned along the way, it was really her and her determination and her skill set and her exacting what we taught, going into the practice, going into the sparring session, and staying focused. after a year or so, I stopped being nervous about her being in there. That's how I was able to separate dad from coach. Now I can put on coach hat when we go spar, and when we're done, I'm back to dad. At first, I couldn't do that. Yeah, they were crossing over, and
Coach at home,
yeah,
then dad at
trying
home.
to be coach at home. It was like, wait a minute, I gotta slow this down. 'Cause your dad number one,
Yeah.
and I wanted to be dad at home. Even to the point where I even asked Brijhana, what she thought about somebody else being her head coach and not just be dad and cheerleader. And she was like, no.
No. It was an immediate no.
No. She wasn't going for that. And I don't even think I would have went for it for a long period of time. You know what I mean? Especially if something went wrong with her. You know, it's like, because I know her in and out. It's my kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think she's safest with me. So, and I think she feels the same way. So it was a process, but we had to trust it. We had to grow. We had to learn. And now we're a 6-time national champion.
So back to you, champ. I'll call you champ the whole
That's fine.
Okay.
because the reason is you earned it. It's not something that's given. You earned it. You know what I mean? So as you, right? Does the fine line still apply to you? Do you still have to be like, you know what? I'm the boxer and not the daughter. I'm looking for coach here, not dad. Do you find it easy to separate the two?
Well, as a boxer, for one and foremost, you always want to do everything to please your coach, and which is good because I'm his daughter, so I'm already striving for that, and I already want to, do the best I can. So it's not really hard for me anymore. Like when I started at first, it was the same thing as him. I was boxer at home, daughter at practice. I was like, okay. And then it took us a long time to figure out that he had to be coach at the gym and I had to be boxer at the gym. And we would change that into dad and daughter at home. Like even like we joke, we play in the corners, but once it's time to really lock in and get focused, we are both snapped up serious. Like we are serious as all get out, and that's not going to change until right afterwards. But it's not hard for me anymore, and which I'm glad for because it's so much easier and it's so much less stress for me and him when we're out there doing what we need to do. So it's pretty easy now.
Okay, I like that. Now let's get into boxing proper, right? But most people think boxing is punch and get punched, right? But it's more to it than that.
Yes,
It's a whole sweet science, right?
exactly.
Can you kind of give like the viewers just the dynamics of it, just a brief dynamics of the preparation that goes into it, the daily life of a boxer, and just a little, just a bit of it.
Boxing, it depends on if you want to box competitively and be successful at it, it must be reflected in your lifestyle. Like you got to get up with that. You got to eat right away from the gym. It doesn't start in the gym. You got to eat right away from the gym. You have to prepare, not only in the gym but outside the gym. I give you an example about us. If we have a tournament coming, just say like Silver Gloves, we just got out of. Brijhana's up for 5 o'clock in the morning, running at times, or conditioning, in our house at times, 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's a must. Like it's like now she understands it. At first, that was tough, like 5 o'clock in the morning, but she's been doing it now since she's been about 8. So 5 o'clock in the morning, we conditioning. She's homeschooled, so that makes it easier. We get our lessons done out the way. Maybe about 1 or 2, we'll do some strength and conditioning and get back to our lessons. Then again at 7 at night, we'll go spar or work out at the gym and help the other kids. So it's a lifestyle. If you want it to be successful for you, you got to live it. A lot of people think they can just go in the gym and just start punching bags, and it's
No,
not that way.
no,
It's,
it will never work.
It's not that way. That's not the situation. You can go do it if you want to. It won't turn out well for you. Like a lot of gyms teach the young kids. I can make us an example again. A coach told me after watching Brijhana spar, he was like, "She's so skilled, but why did you teach her, this type of skill set at this age?" She said, "We don't do that. We just teach them to get in there and fight." And I'm like, to me, that's boxing blasphemy. like, no way. What I teach my daughter just to jump in there and start throwing fists and getting hit at the same time, getting hit, exchanging shot for a shot. No way. Brijhana knows when we get in there, I get irritated when I get hit too much. Any fighter that I train is like, man, don't get in there and get hit. That's not what we're here for. You were here to score points and not get points scored on you. That's how the judges judge fights. Don't leave it in the judge's hands. Be dominant. Like I said, I'm a defensive guy. We spend probably 70% of our time on defense. So at this point, Brijhana's gotten to a point where you really can't hit her clean. And I don't care who she's in there with, boy or girl. You can't hit her clean a whole lot throughout the rounds. She's getting prolific at it, But that's my philosophy. Another thing is they teach, every gym in America teaches, every gym in the world teaches the jab is the best punch. You work your jab first. My philosophy is, okay, that's true. So we stop the jab first, and then you establish yours. Never let your opponent establish a jab on you. So we approach every fight in that way. We approach every practice in that way, and it's worked for us. It's working for us, should I say? Yeah.
Okay. All right, Brijhana, back to you. So it's so many legends, boxing legends who've gloved up and went in the ring and fought and created a legacy for themselves. Boxing is a noble sport. It's one of the best sports in the world. How do you come into this space that's full of legends, space that's full of artists, and create a name for yourself without cheating the game?
The way you make a name for yourself is to separate yourself. There are plenty of people that just fight, but there is an art to the sport, there is a science to the sport, and you have to master it to master this game. It's basically this whole boxing thing is basically a chess game. You have to be 10 steps ahead of your opponent at all times, no matter what round, what time it is, it doesn't matter the situation.
Man, I love this girl. Man, I love this girl, man.
Yeah.
You are way
Ahead of the game, man. Ahead of the game.
You know what? I'm not going to interrupt you. I'm going to be...
Yeah. To be 10 steps ahead, you have to watch. You have to learn. You have to study your opponents. Not many people in this boxing game really sit down and watch their opponents. That is the number one thing my dad will do. After sparring, after fighting, like after the silver gloves that we just won, he watched the fight over and over and over about 30 times in that one night. I'm like, are you gonna put it down and just go do something else?
But she know better than that. I'm not.
There is no getting him out of that. He slows it down, he breaks it down, he shows me what we can work on and what I did good and what we can improve upon. Even if it's good, we can tweak this, we can tweak that, we can change this, change that. Okay, this is not working for us, so let's try something different. That is just his mindset. And watching him do that has changed my mindset as well, because now when I get in the ring, it feels slowed down. It feels like I'm sitting down on a couch and just watching it. And when I'm in the fight, now I can see people throwing, and I can easily slip it, hit back, and not get hit, not once. So to say that you're able to slow it down, it feels like it's slowed down in slow motion. That means you have really set yourself apart from other people. You're ahead of everybody else, your peers. You're ahead of them. And that's what it takes to be a 6-time national champion. That's what it takes to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going running. That's what that takes.
Wow.
It takes dedication.
Wow. You understand exactly what the assignment is.
Exactly.
I think that's what made you a 6-time champion. You understand the assignment. This is go in there 1, 2, 3, 4 and execute. And you understand exactly, okay, they say 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me go in there, execute. This person is gonna try to throw a jab. Okay, watch this. He throw a jab, I'm gonna slip,
Right.
and I'm gonna hit it.
Right.
And it's true. We all human beings. When you get hit 1, 2 times, the plan that you came with is out the window.
It's out the window.
So now you're just trying to improvise.
And that's what I tell her. Like you're right. You're exactly right. That's what I tell her. I said, go in there, make her change her mind. If you make her stop her jab, because guarantee you, whatever her game plan is, her coaches taught her to work behind her jab. If you stop her jab, she's got to figure out something else. And 9 times out of 10, most of the kids don't come in with 2 and 3 game plans. We got 3 and 4. I got a game plan for every round. You know, I'm serious. We got a different game plan for every round. You commented on one of her videos where she was on the Floyd vibe.
Yeah.
I send her in there behind that Philly shell. The kids, you can see the blank look on their face, like, what is this? What is she doing? And
This is not normal.
and it makes it easy.
Yeah, I'm watching the video. It's just a story, very short, right?
Yep.
But I can see the frustration in the other kids.
Yeah.
The other kid just watching from a video because she's dodging the jabs and hitting.
Yep.
And she will do this and do this.
Yep.
And the kid is just, at that point, she's just
Now
throwing
winging.
anything.
Now we winging.
Yeah, she's just swinging. And then, but you were so calm and controlled the whole time. That's how you were able to dodge the punches. That's how you're able to dodge the stuff. So it's so much science, and like you said, that is going into this. So your dream at a 9 to 5 gathering, plan the roads to be free from self-bondage. Have to fend for yourself. Do not feast with the vultures. That's how you preserve culture. That's how legacy is built. Each one teach one. Each one help one. Each one feed one. Each one praise one. There's no generational wealth without generational wisdom. No man is free unless the whole family is free. Family tax is a real thing. My auntie need a Benz. My cousin needs some Jordan 3s. I'll be damned if I let another man tell me my limits. Catch up, naysayer. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. How far are you willing to take this? Because at this point, it's not what you want. It's how far are you just willing to take it?
My number one goal right now is to go to the 2028 Olympics for boxing. That's always been my number one goal. I watched the Olympics one year. I'm like, okay, I'm going. I'm going. Let me find a sport. And I found one. I found my home away from home. That's what the gym is to me, a home away from home. And when I go out to these national tournaments, I feel at home no matter where it is. It could be in Ohio. It could be in California. It could be anywhere. But if I'm in a gym or I'm in a ring and I'm doing stuff that I know and that I love, it's a home. Anywhere where you can take what you love and you can go places, it's like, okay, I don't want to stop now. Like, I want to go to the 2028 Olympics, and then I want to try to do that 5 times. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, and that's a long time, but, I mean, when you're so dedicated to a sport that you're willing to do it no matter how many times.
You know, that's 20 years, right?
Yeah. I know.
All right, well, let's get it.
I mean, I started at 18, go to 38. I mean, I'm still pretty young for the game.
Wow. You probably have so much belts and so much stuff at that time. The Olympics would not probably be
Right.
be a thing of interest to you.
Right.
You would probably have like 4, 5, 6 7 bells, just bells
Right,
everywhere.
everywhere.
I don't think after 1 or 2 Olympics, I don't think you will be interested in going through
There's
that.
really nothing else to do. I mean, after that.
After that, it's gonna be fights in Dubai, fights in in London. I just want to be at a press conference, you know.
You there.
I just want to be
You
at a press conference.
there. You there.
I just want to be at a press
Yeah,
conference.
after that second
because
one, it's time to make some money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, then you can
it's
go
expensive too. Traveling
Oh, yeah.
is
yeah.
the expensive part.
pro. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you feel though any pressure that I have to make it because my parents are putting so much into this?
Yes. Like, you always want to, any kid in the world would just wants to make their parents proud.
Yeah.
So once you find something that they're really invested in, they're willing to take you places, they're willing to, you know, do everything they can to put it out there for you, put you in positions that nobody else can really do. You feel that obligation to pay them back. You feel that obligation to, you know, do the best you can to give them, you know, something that they didn't have. You feel that obligation to, you know, say thank you. And I always have. I've always felt that pressure to, you know, really do the best I can. And that in boxing is my way of saying thank you. You know, winning these national tournaments, that's my way of saying thank you. So yeah, I do. I feel that pressure.
But I
Yeah.
think
don't
I
you
think
really
here
understood the question.
I think here, right? What you're saying here is really important. You found your why. Why am I doing this? You found your why, which is great, which is so beautiful. But I don't think you owe. If it stops right now, right? I think your father would be the proudest father in the world if it stops today. You know why? Because he has seen the dedication that you've put into this. It's about the effort. It's about your willingness to say, let's do this. I'm in. You 110%. He has seen that already. So that should never be a pressure for you.
Right.
It's done out of love. It's not done out of condition.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, Brijhana, we are taking you to Ohio. You better win when we get. It's not that.
She
It's-
understands. I'm sorry. She understands because I say it to her 24/7. I don't care where you go in life. If, for example, if you end up being a 6-time world champion, making great money, whatever, great life, Brianna, I tell her, you don't owe me nothing. That's not why I'm here. That's not why we doing this. You know, I tell her all the time, she'll tell you, you don't owe me nothing. Don't give me nothing. Maybe a 69 Riviera. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? But honestly, I tell her every day. We had these mental reps every day, you know, as far as her mental condition, as far as every sparring I asked her, every fight I asked her, how you feel? You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And if she's honest, she'll tell you. You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through sparring no more. You don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. And she'll reassure me, yeah, let's go. I'm good. But again, no, I don't think she really understood what you were saying as far as the pressure is concerned. Because I always tell her, don't get me anything. I don't need anything. That's not why I'm here.
Yeah.
It's not what I'm doing this for. My reward from you is to see you be the best you can be, and I'm good.
Best human being you could be.
That's it. The human being, best person you can be, and that's it.
But you have put so much. You have done so much. Oh my God, man! This is a conversation that I had with my father when I was grown. When I was like 20, 21. When I was getting ready to leave Africa and come to the United States. When I started getting in troubles over in high school. When I started thinking I was grown. And you were having these conversations with your dad at a really early age, and just the relationship it's just beautiful. He is investing so much into you, just because it's his job.
That's it.
And it's beautiful to watch, even with me being a father, I'm listening to you say these things. I'm learning from this. So now I gotta go home because I played a lot of soccer. I always tell every time I'm playing with my daughter, I'm like, yeah, you better be ready for these soccer practices. But I should not. It's not something that I'm supposed to force on her. If she likes doing it, it's cool. Maybe she might not even like any sport.
Right.
It's not something that I have to force on her. And I'm glad you said that because that is gonna help me with that balance.
Yeah. For me, it's like you watch your children when they're young, and of course, if you're involved in it because of their relationship with you, you know they're gonna at least look at soccer, boxing for me, and if you'll know when they gravitate to it and they stick to it, you'll know. Then Brijhana gravitated to boxing and ballet. You know, we knew early that she wanted to be in the ballet studio. We knew that early, but we also knew early that she had a spirit to do some fighting. My 7-year-old right now, Champ, he came out the womb punching. I'm not kidding. Came out the womb punching. Like, I think he was 10 months old, and I'll tell a short story. This boy, you know, I would hear doom, doom in the room, doom, where he was. He wouldn't do it in front of me and Mom, but he would do it in front of Brijhana. So I would have Brijhana going, come and see what he's doing. And he's in there punching the crib, wood, like, holding himself up with one hand, like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, what? What? He's doing what? And she was like, yeah. And so sooner or later, I mean, he started doing it while we were there. We got videos of this kid that couldn't even walk, you know, punching, you know. But no, back to the subject. You know, you don't force them on them. You just watch them. Like I said, they'll gravitate to whatever they like, you know. And as a parent, I feel like that's your job to water whatever that is. And if it and let it grow, it'll grow. You know, you just pour into it. You pour into it. You pour into it. That's about it. You know.
And with the ballerina, how do you pronounce the thing? Ballerina?
Ballerina.
Ballerina.
Ballet.
You know, my accent be in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
Ballet, right? Sometimes it's good to cross sport because the strength of one sport helps the other sport. Ballet helps with balance. Did that help with did that help as far as boxing is concerned?
Not really.
It's good. Man.
It's crazy because these ballet and boxing are two different worlds.
Two different worlds?
Completely. Like, there's almost nothing about them that are alike. Nothing. If the only thing about it is the strength and conditioning. That's about it. Like,
Yeah.
coming to the technique, the style. No, it's completely different.
Completely different.
Everybody believes when they hear she does both, the first thing they say is, "Man, that ballet really got you doing some footwork." No,
No.
her. Listen, and I'm being honest. When she first started going down to the
Gets
gym,
so irritated.
like, man, she would be in a ballet pose with her fist up. I'm like, oh, whoa, whoa. That's not gonna work here. You gotta switch that up. Yeah, like when we first started, and she was doing ballet first, so we first started going to the gym, and it took me to be able to stand back away from her so I could see it. And I'm like, something's wrong. Really
What
wrong.
are you doing?
What is this stance you in? And she got her feet turned out with her hands up, and I'm like, wait a minute. No, that's not gonna work, man. But what did happen? What did translate? And to this day, nobody really believes us when I said boxing made her a stronger ballerina. Ballet, like I said, the strength and conditioning that they do, yeah. Of course that's gonna transfer. But as far as, you know, people think the ballet makes her better foot. No, her boxing drills make her footwork great. That's it. I mean,
Well, watch Watch parents go sign up their kids for the two.
Yeah.
two.
We've had them. We've had a few. I'm like, all right, guys, come on. This it's not that easy. It's not that easy. But yeah, that's the ballet and boxing crossover. Like I would get frustrated, like, oh my God, would you please get out of second position and work, man?
I would have my back like straight and
Back
rigid.
straight up, chin high in the air. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get killed. We're gonna get killed today. But yeah, she fixed it because everything right about ballet is everything wrong about boxing.
Yeah.
That chin cannot be up in the air.
Nope.
Your back cannot be straight up.
Nope.
Like, none of that stuff. It's just the opposite. Boxing, you want to be tucked in here.
Yeah.
A little bit of bend in your knees, and it's different. It's different.
Completely.
Even the motion in boxing.
Different.
The motions. It's
Different.
crazy.
Totally different. Boxing is, like you said, the motion is quick and fast.
Yeah.
Speed.
Ballet
Is long and
slow.
graceful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's two different things.
The only thing graceful in boxing is knocking somebody out and checking on them if they.
That's it.
They're all right.
That's it. That's
They're all
it.
right. And
Yeah.
after the fight, hugging them and telling them, "Man, good fight. You're
That's
strong."
it.
That's
Yeah,
the grace.
that's about it.
That's where the grace and the nobility come
Yeah.
in. Gentleman's sport.
Yeah. You just got honored by, is it the council, the state council,
The city
City
council.
council.
the city council? Amazing.
And the mayor, yeah. Sure did.
Do you even understand what that is?
No.
Charles, half the stuff I always ask that question. I'm like, do you even still understand what went on? She was like, no. But I think as she gets older, she's starting to understand a little bit more.
One fine day, you'll be somewhere doing whatever it is, far away from boxing, and this stuff will click, and you'll be like, huh?
Man. Man. Don't we talk about that? Mm-hmm. Man. He's a dad, so he's
6 times national champion. I don't even think I'm just 6-time national champion. Do you even know? Do you understand these things?
No. No.
That's why I'm addressing you as champ the whole time, because I played soccer. I never won not one championship, not one. And I play a broken hand. I'm playing. My hand the bone is like dangling. The hand is just dangling.
Yeah, man.
I did all of that. I'm playing. My shin is bleeding. My toes. If I took my feet off, my toes is still all messed up. Kicked in the head, all of it.
Oh yeah.
Into fights, brawls in the park, all of it. I never won not one championship playing. I went to finals, but I lost all of them at like 2, 3. And to go national, I'm taking care of everybody here in Kansas City. Y'all got anybody left? No.
Right.
You got somebody. You want more?
Yeah.
No, and you go to another state and conquer and go, and the more you go to round 1, round 2, you're fighting more elite people. Mm-hmm. The more the rounds, you're fighting more elite people, and you get to number 1. I'm not saying settle. You've made it. I'm not saying that at all.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Don't even look at
Definitely
this
not.
as that. But I'm just saying, at some point, take a deep breath and appreciate this. Say, thank you to yourself. Mm-hmm. You know how Snoop Dogg said, I want to thank me for being great. I want to thank me for being amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to be in the house and say, you know what, I want to thank me
I did that.
for being amazing. I did that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say legendary now yet, but at some point when you look back at all of this, it's going to be so beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's going to be so beautiful. These things are not things that happen overnight, man.
No. Definitely not.
Do you watch any professional boxers? Is there anybody you like?
My favorite professional boxer of all time is Floyd Mayweather Jr. He has always been my absolute favorite, and you know, he probably always will be because of his skill, his technique, his determination, you know, just the way he fights, you know, the way he carries himself in the ring is, you know, the same way that I want to do it. You know, I want to make that name for myself in the ring like he did, you know. Yeah, he's a really big inspiration for me. Always has been, always will be.
Yeah, Floyd is, in my opinion, you know, there's a lot of greats, and it's hard to compare to.
Mm-hmm.
I just look at everything he's done in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Never been down from a punch. 50-something fights. That in itself speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, this dude ain't never been. This is boxing. He ain't never been down from. He's been hurt. He's been rocked.
Yeah.
But I remember him fighting Shane Mosley.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he told Shane, "You got to kill me. Yeah, that was a good shot, but you got to kill me." You know, and you saw after that fight. I mean, after that round.
That round. Yeah.
It was over.
Mm-hmm.
He woke up and Shane. You could tell Shane's body language changed. Like, man, this dude.
I gave him everything.
I gave him
everything. Yeah.
And he's still here, and he's winning now.
Yeah, that fight kind of reminds me of the Fury Wilder Force fight.
Yeah,
The one that they ended up saying is a tie.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the draw.
The draw.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me exactly. Wilder was hitting Fury with so many
Yeah.
heavy punches.
Bombs.
You think? Yeah, he hit him and he went cold on the floor for a minute, and we thought this is it. And when he got back up, the whole fight took a whole different dynamic when he got back up.
Yep.
That will to say, you know what, you're gonna have to kill me today, or you are not even touching me. Floyd, I don't think people understand exactly what Floyd has done, because Floyd kind of has he has this free spirit that kind of just be like, I mean, I did that just like her, like we just did this to fight that many fights. Think about the amateur fights, the other little fights that to this day, after he did some type of exhibition in China.
Yeah.
He did just fight Logan Paul. I mean, Logan is not a boxer, but that's a huge dude.
That's a big dude.
That's a big dude, and still did not yet
right. Didn't even get hurt. Didn't even get hurt.
Yeah, laid on the canvas to accomplish that.
At 40, what? 3?
Yeah,
Hey man, this kid is in his 20s.
yeah.
That's yeah. To your point, that's amazing. You know, just the age difference alone. Then slap the size on the top of it, man. Hey,
It's
pound
just,
for pound.
who are some of the boxers you watch now, right? And you get excited.
I love Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he is.
He's to me, when he's all said and done, he'll be, you know, with the right promotional type stuff, he'll be on Floyd status. Skill wise.
Yeah.
I like Errol Spence. Those are my top. I like the young kid coming out, Boots Ennis. And as far as the top guys are concerned, that's about it. I love Pacquiao too. I love Pacquiao, what he did. That dude is so dynamic, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you fight and sing after the ring, after fighting, just in there singing.
Yeah, man. I love Tyson Fury too. Like, his skill set. I take everybody and whatever they bring to the ring, you gotta love Wilder for his power, man. That scary power. Tyson Fury to be 6'9" and can move and
The agility.
man, that's crazy to me.
When he go
Yeah.
I'm like,
how do you do that? How do you do that?
Yeah.
Man, and you're not the fittest dude out here. You don't look the part, but man, his skill set is amazing.
it is.
You know, his total skill set. Those are just some of my top favorites right there.
Have you seen him train though? You know the little 10, 20-pound black balls that's always at the gym?
Yeah.
They're taking it and just slamming it on
On each other, yeah.
on his rib cage.
Yeah.
I'm watching that and I'm like, wait, hold on. This is how this is how
He do it too. She does it too.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's like, wait, what?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The
The medicine balls.
ball.
Yeah.
The medicine ball.
and,
Yeah.
no,
He said no.
that's your daughter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's like, but you have to, at this point, you have to go, either I condition her in this way or somebody hurts her in the ring.
I'm already emotional and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not even seeing that. What?
Maybe not,
said,
not as hard as
But
Tyson
yeah.
Fury and their dad. Hey, we
Yeah.
not doing this, but we making sure her core, like she don't, that when you get any boxer will tell you, they rather get hit in the head than in the body.
Yes.
Because you got those vital organs. You got your,
And it's
your liver
painful.
over here, you got the solar plexus right here, and this shot over here, kidney shots behind the back, you gotta be ready for that stuff.
Yeah.
And like I said, especially with her, all girls that end up, a lot of coaches don't let their girls spar boys. But I'm like, if I don't let you spar boys, we ain't gonna get no work at all.
None.
Because we can't
Okay.
just, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Like, occasionally we'll get a few girls here and there, but it's like, after one or two times, it's like, they don't really want to do it no more. They quit. They drop out the gym. So, yeah, basically it's all boys. Basically.
Yeah,
Always has been.
We done ran some girls out some gyms. Like, they don't come back. Boys
Recently too, didn't that just happen recently? Where a fighter didn't show back up after a fourth round, second round, something like that?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, you mean hers?
Yeah.
Yeah, in
Silver Gloves.
Silver Glove.
Yeah.
We for first round, and the girl just stayed in the corner. She walked back to the corner. Before she sat down, she was already telling them, no, I'm not going back in. You can see it on the videos that I watched. She was like, no. Then when they sat her down on the stool and her coach got in front of her, she was like, no, I'm not going in. So they threw in the towel,
Yeah, that's goes into that level of training that you were just talking about.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. I want to tell you about this stuff. We watched her. I'm always watching to see if I can
Watching
see
everything.
signs, everything. So before the fight, we were out there, and her and I guess it was her mom at that point. I think they thought that they could maybe mentally bully us because they were looking at her, like mean mugging. And I'm like, okay. So they sat there the whole time, maybe an hour before the fight. We were waiting for our fight. Didn't warm up. Didn't do anything towards getting her ready to box. I told Brijhana, she gonna come out and try to bully you because she ain't doing nothing else. She gonna come out and try to street fight you. And that's exactly what she did. She got in the ring and tried to street fight Brijhana. Got her, wrapped her head up in the headlock and hitting her in the back.
Yeah.
And
I was like,
after that,
Excuse me?
just weather the storm. I said, just weather the storm. She got about 30 seconds and it's done. And sure enough, I said, when she come for it, just keep some in her face. Just keep some in her face. She'll gas out. She gassed out. Brijhana started hitting her with bricks. And it was, because she just kept walking forward into shots. Just throw at her. Kept hitting her hard. The girl got back. It was one point in the thing in the round where it was like she just froze. And as you see in body language, it's over. It's over. When she came back to the corner for the second round, we didn't really get a chance. Brijhana was telling me what was going on.
I know. I was like, I hit her with this. I hit her with this. And then, all in the background, we didn't even see her ready to quit. We didn't even see her coach tell the referee, we're done. We didn't see all that.
I didn't even know till the referee came to us and was like, that's it.
And then,
I'm like, what?
but the thing is, when the ref went like this, that was me and Dad thought he was telling him to get down so we could get ready for the next
I
round.
thought he was telling me to get off the ring. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh. No,
And then
it's
we
over.
flipped around like, wait, what? It's what? It's over?
Yeah, she
It
wasn't.
all goes into preparation.
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely. It I think it's like we spoke earlier, and I said, you got to live this. If you plan on it being successful at the amateur level, professional level, whatever, you got to live this life. You don't, what's the old saying? What's the adage? You don't play boxing. You can't. You can't. You're going to get hurt. So what's the point? Don't even do it.
Yep.
Don't even do it because it's not a game. Once you get in that ring, it's not a game. And I told Brijhana, it's not a game. If you were serious about going forward, winning championships, if that's what you want, we have to take this thing seriously. If we can't do that, if I feel like you're not giving me 100% in your practice, in your preparation, eating, making weight, we're not gonna do it. I'm your dad. I'm not gonna watch you get beat up.
Yeah.
That's something I'm not going to do. Period. None of my kids. Champ either when he come up. I tell him now. If you're not gonna do the right thing, man, as far as practice is concerned, we're not going to do it. This is not the sport for that. It's not a team sport. This is a team sport. You can lollygag a little bit if you got somebody going, that's hot.
Yeah. If
Boxing.
you have a LeBron, you could just be in the background
Yeah.
committing fouls. And
Watching him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I tell her, boxing is not that way.
No, it is
It's
not.
just you and that other person. Yeah, I'm in your corner, but I'm not in the middle of that ring when that bell ring. So it's the approach. You're right. It's all about that preparation and approach. And a lot of it is mental.
Yeah.
A lot of it is mental. If you're not mentally ready, I don't care how physically gifted you are, it's not going to work for you. I've had a couple of athletes come through, and they were physical specimens, but that mental wasn't there, and it couldn't get them over the hump. So you'll find a lot of athletes like that.
That's exactly what my next question was going to go to do. Other people see her success and try to approach you about coaching and training.
Yeah, we just talked about that. People think because they see the success, and if I put up a video, it's a highlight. That's the time we live in anyway. Everybody got a highlight video. Everybody will go, and when they call me, and I'll tell them, "Are you sure?" I said, because your daughter is going to get hit in the face. Probably, I give them the worst scenarios I can. Probably dropped in sparring. I said, it's a hopper, nose bleeding, black eyes, whatever. I said, are you ready for that? Are you ready for, and it depends on what level. Are you ready to get them up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Are you going to get up and get them up at 5 o'clock in the morning? Are you going to be just as dedicated as you're trying to ask them to be, the parent? And then you will hear the tone change in the conversation. Then it's like, well, I'll get back to you. Yeah, I know. No, you won't. Because they don't see everything. They don't see everything we do. And then when they do get to the gym, say they do come, and they see what she goes through, it's like, all right, well, maybe not. So.
A lot of people come into the gym and think it's easy. It's the total opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I can just imagine. People think they can recreate. They can recreate gifts and success, which it's not. You cannot recreate it, man.
No.
You cannot, and it's all down to commitment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What you're ready to put her through and what she's ready to take. My daughter might not be willing to take. Even if she's willing, me as a parent, would I be willing to commit to that as well?
Right.
Would I be willing to leave everything behind and fly to all these state activities, all these national activities, all these, if it needs be to go international, am I willing to go and partake in this? It's a commitment on both sides that a lot of people see and see all of these highlights and see her dodging jabs smoothly and landing one smoothly and doing stuff that Floyd, you see with Floyd and these elite athletes, and you're like, okay, I want my daughter to do that. But what that is just food. That is the end product that you're looking at.
Absolutely. Yep.
The behind the scenes is some nasty behind the scenes that you are not ready to deal with, and it's scary. It's scary. It's just instant gratification.
Right.
Instant gratification, and a lot of times, even self-negotiation. Man, you know what? Like, it's my daughter. Oh, she'll finish this tomorrow. It's cool.
Yeah.
We just do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're tired. I mean, at that point, it's not self-negotiation, but invariably, you also negotiating with yourself that you don't want to see. I don't want to see her go through this today. I'm just going to negotiate with myself. You know what, Brijhana? You could do this tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then you would have been in the way of all of this,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it, and I know it's thousands of people who are here for all of it, and I know it's a father somewhere who just wants to understand, how do I separate myself from this? How do I not be in the way of my child's success? The other day I was just listening to an interview that Kobe did. He said sometimes adults and parents are in the way of a child's success.
Right.
Because we don't know how to just take a step back and just watch.
Right.
And I think you're like the greatest at that, because as far as it's first, she's a girl, and second, you were there every step, sparring. She's coming, like you said, coming back with black eyes, bleeding nose, and you're calm enough to know that, oh, this is just part of the process. This is nothing. You'll come over this. And she believes that, this ain't nothing. I'm gonna come back. When I come back, you'll see what you'll
Right.
see. You'll see what will happen to you when I come back.
We ain't never had no black eyes and black nose.
Wow. So you see what I'm saying? Even more, that calls for more preparation then.
Right.
That means the training has to be turned. The level of the training has to be in 105, and then everybody else is a 90, 93.
Yeah.
Everybody, even if you're 93, you're high, but you're still lacking. If someone is at 105.
Right.
So if you come in with your little 21, 31, 16,
Right.
you better go sit in the house and
That's right.
and read a book, do something else.
That's right.
Play video games.
Something else. You're right. Totally right. Like she, I think maybe the worst thing that's ever happened to her is
I got hit in the face one time.
nose.
Yeah, I got hit in the nose.
It was a clean shot.
It was.
We were setting up in the Philly shell, and
I read the
caught,
wrong punch.
but she didn't roll. She rolled too early.
Yeah.
And rolled back right
Oh.
into the backhand shot.
Boom.
Right in the nose. I mean, tears in her eyes. She came back to the corner. I asked her if she wanted to quit. She said no.
No,
So
I'm
we're
gonna
right
finish
back in
this
there.
out.
And
And when she went back in there, it was a problem.
take care of business. Take care of business. I mean,
Yeah, my nose has been jacked
that's
up
the-
ever since.
that's the mentality that is you gotta have. You gotta have it. And if you don't, again, and not just boxing, in life.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In life, sometimes you're gonna take some L's. But quit is not an option.
No.
If that's what you love. You know what I mean? If that's what you love to do, whatever situation is, whatever you're in, quitting is not an option.
No.
That's not an option. Brijhana, like I said, that's why I stay with mental reps with her. I always connect. She'll tell you after every fight, come on, let's talk. How you feel?
We go on walks sometimes.
Go on a long walk, a long drive, go get some ice cream. How do you feel? How do you feel? And she'll open up and tell me, But that's another part of it too. A lot of times, coaches, parents, they don't really consider what the kid is feeling. It's what they think, what they see. And sometimes, a lot of times it don't work. You know, and I tell all the time, I need feedback. I need to know when you don't feel right. I don't care if it's a minor injury. I need to know. I need to know that because, you know, we get in this ring and that's going hurt on. You know what I'm saying? I gotta know that beforehand so we can do the maintenance before the end. If you don't get if you hurting, I ain't gonna have you really sparring. We're gonna fix it first and then we'll go. You know, so we can be as close to 100% as possible. You know, so you can be the best you can be.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? The best
this is
you can
stuff
be.
I read. I read a lot. This is stuff I read in books, man.
Yeah.
It took me to read a lot and go through a lot myself to be this prepared, to be prepared to actually absorb that information, not to implement it.
Right.
To absorb it first.
Right.
Then start implementing this. And you're implementing this with her at this stage, at this age. I mean, from here on out, it's just like a big oak tree that's just ready to throw out huge branches all over, just take over.
Yeah.
And it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
She's comfortable now. She's comfortable in the ring. You can watch, you can see it when you watch like videos. You can she's completely comfortable now. And it's like, now I told her, another thing I tell her, I said, once you decide, because of your skill set and your determination and your preparation, once you decide that you don't want to get beat, you never get beat again in this amateur game. You'll never get beat again. She'll tell you, I tell her, you'll never get beat again. But you have to decide. Once you get there and you say, man, you know what? I worked too hard for this. You know, we've had some fights where early, you know, Brijhana didn't do Brijhana. You know, maybe it was nerves, maybe it was whatever. But we gave room for that. Okay, that's fine. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to be some fights where you actually won, and it's been quite a few of them, that the judges didn't agree.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, whatever. We don't let that get us down. Let's keep moving. Let's keep better. Let's keep progressing as much as possible. So, you know, she's comfortable now.
You know, like I said, it took me reading, a lot of reading, to get to this space, to get to just understanding like this whole thing called life. You know, some of these lessons are not just boxing lessons. These are life lessons.
Absolutely.
You know, some of these, I think she's equipped enough. If she decides today she wants to be a lawyer, right? She'll probably be one of the most elite lawyers in the world, because some of these lessons translate into everything. And as an athlete, you always have to think of after post-career, what do you want to do after you retire, after you're not here? And I think, you know, you have enough support system. I'm so proud of you. You know,
Thank you.
I'm going to start following you a lot. I'm going to start coming to fights. I'm going to start checking you out, you know,
Right.
on fights. I'm going to start coming to, I'm so support. I'm going to bring my wife and my daughter.
Good.
I'm going to bring them. I'm going to try, you know, we will start to, you know, when fights are coming, let me know. I'll come.
Absolutely.
We'll come and support you, you know.
Thank you.
We'll come and support you. And thank you. Thank you for your commitment, and thank you for what you're doing. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
We're proud of you, you know. I'm so proud of you. I learned a lot today. I understood a lot coming into this, not just boxing, just life, just a relationship, how to build a relationship with your daughter to where you're not being so overprotective to where you're on the way. But at the same time, also, this is the fine line. This is where we're gonna stop. And I learned a lot from you, man. I'm proud of you. Like I said earlier, I keep saying that. I'm happy for you. Wish you all nothing but the best. Let's get to this Olympic. Let's go to get a gold medal. Man is free unless the whole family is free. Family tax is a real thing. My auntie need a Benz. My cousin needs some Jordan 3s. I'll be damned if I let another man tell me my limits. Catch up, naysayer. I'm winning. I'm winning. I'm winning. Go get it and bring it to that.
Yeah.
You know, that's all he
right.
wants.
That's
69
it.
Revere in a three-piece suit.
Yeah.
Three-piece suit and a 69 Revere.
That's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
As soon as you bring that,
Yeah, it's good.
that's
I'm good.
all he asked for. He didn't ask for a mansion. He didn't ask for a Rolls Royce. Yeah, he told you specific. This is exactly what I
I
want.
don't need none of that.
You know the assignment now. Go get it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.